What's going on, Kate Dish Gang? I know y'all are so shocked to see me. I know my podcast listeners are like, what is this bitch doing on camera? She's never on camera. But I've been saying for the longest, especially if you listen to the show, then you know I've been saying for the longest, like, I need to get on camera. I need to get on camera. So here we are. I don't even know if this episode is going to make it to the YouTube streets, but we'll see. We'll give it our best shot when I do a little bit of editing. Then we'll know for sure, girl. But anyhow, in case it does, welcome back to the Kate Dish Podcast episode. I don't know. I will remember this podcast whenever. But if you're new, welcome, girl. We usually do not do this. This is something totally new. We do not do visuals over here at the Kate Dish Podcast. I am a strictly Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts kind of girl. Like, I don't like nothing visual. I hate being on camera unless I have to do an interview because it's not really about me. But let's go ahead and experiment. So, I kind of told this story on the podcast a little bit about the dude I was talking to went to Miami, and it was just like horrible. So I'm like, I'm finna make a whole podcast episode about that story. And the one who inspired me to do this whole episode was Bling by Ling, who does my nails. That's my girl. She not just my nail tech. Like, that's really my dog in real life. She was my dog before she started doing my nails. So shout out to her. And oh, my nails is like tea. If y'all follow me on Instagram, my personal Instagram, I always tag her in my nail slaves. But she was like, girl, you need to do a whole episode about that situation. I'm like, you know what, you're right. So we're gonna get into it. The subject matter of this podcast, we gotta get him a name. We're gonna call him Overseas because he played basketball overseas. So I gotta get y'all a little bit of backstory. Okay. I'm so embarrassed, but okay, whatever. We here now. Kate Dish, like my Kate Dish listeners who've been rocking with me since like the very first episode, they know like we don't keep no secrets from each other. Well, maybe some secrets. I can't tell y'all all my hotels, but some things is open for discussion. So here we go. Just a little bit of backstory. I had met him in Orlando when I was out with my cousins or whatever. And you know how when you meet a dude out of town, it's kind of like a hit or miss. Like, okay, we might talk, we might not. Like, it really ain't no pressure like that. Whatever. So, I met him or whatever. We met. And before we went to Miami together, we linked up in Miami together. That was like the only time that we had met or whatever. That's very important to know. So goes to my I'm skipping all ahead. Let me slow it down a little bit. I think I'm nervous. Let me slow it down. Met him in the O. We texting, we talking or whatever. So like I said, he played ball overseas, but he was over here doing like some type of workouts and training or whatever. But he was getting ready to go back overseas. So leading up to that, we was texting every day, talking on the phone. And I must say he was super consistent. I have to give credit when it's due because trust me, I'm finna drag his ass enough by the end of this video. But in the beginning, like we talked for maybe like 2-3 months or something like that before I had actually seen him again in person. Like, it might have been longer than that. And maybe it was like 4 months or something like that. I don't know. But we had really been talking. He was really consistent. Like, he called me. He texted me. And it would always be like, hey, I'm finna do this. If you call my phone, I'm not going to answer. I'm going to be doing X, Y, Z for a couple hours. I'm going to hit you back after. And if he get a break doing workouts or trainings, meetings, whatever he had going on, he always called me, oh, I'm at my workout, I'm headed home, and he'll talk to me on the way home, and yada, yada, yada. So, he was really consistent. We got to give Brad his credit. We got to give Lil Overseas his credit or whatever. Super consistent or whatever. So, like I said, he had his little trainings and everything like that, and he's kind of talking me through the whole overseas process. And I'm like, okay, it sounds dope to me. It's cool, whatever the case may be. So, we talking. Everything is cool. Even when he went overseas to play, when he went back overseas, it was a big time difference. I can't even remember where he was at exactly. Some European, whatever. I really can't remember. Somewhere like Moldova. It was like a small team. But anyway, he was super consistent even with the time difference. Like, he'll hit me up. We had our little designated times. be like, look, I'm finna be doing XYZ at this time. I'm gonna call you after, whatever. So he was real good without it. So I guess something didn't work out with that team. He ended up back over here doing tryouts, like when the season was over. Something happened. This was pre-COVID. I don't really even know. I'm not a sports girl. I just know he went over there, he played a couple games, something happened, he came back here and he was doing tryouts. So he had tryouts everywhere in different cities. He had like one camp in Houston, LA, New York, Atlanta. But it was time for the Miami one. Now, he was like, come to the Miami one, leave the Miami one with him, and go to the New York one. And I was like, I don't really know about that, because like I said, we had been talking and it been consistent, but we ain't never like really kick it. So I'm like, if I come to the Miami one, let me see how you act first before I catch another flight out somewhere else. So I just kind of was like, I don't really know about that. I just blamed it on work. So cool. But leading up into the Miami one, he was being real consistent, and he was being like he really wanted to with me. So he was like just going overboard, and one of these days he dropped the L word. So I was like, okay, now y'all finna say I'm trash, and that's cool. By the end of it, you're gonna see why I reacted, how I reacted. So when he dropped the L word, I was like, like, let me call you back. So I instantly got in a group chat with all my homegirls. I'm like, this nigga dropping the L, like, he's talking like he love me, like, what? So I know what y'all thinking. Yes, some niggas fall in love. Some guys just know. If they want a girl, they just know. But you only see me like one time in person. Our only real conversation is talking on the phone and texting. So how you claim that? How you claim you love me like so soon, and you only seen me like one time? So I'm like, okay. So all my homegirls was like, girl, you is tripping. That boy love you. He kept at you like, don't do that. You gonna run a good dude away. And I'm just like, some in the water ain't clean. So I'm like, okay, girl. I ended up talking back to him, and I apologized. I'm like, I ain't mean to react like that, but you really just caught me off guard, like saying that you love me. And he was like, yeah, I do love you, da-da-da. And I'm just, okay. It's like, I love you too as a human being. From human being to human being, like, absolutely. But, yeah, it was whatever. So, but he just started putting it on extra thick. Like, I love you. And eventually, like, I really could see that he was wanting me to come overseas with him, because he was just, just really trying to get me comfortable with the whole idea and the whole process. And he was like he was actively looking for like cribs and stuff. Like, he was just, I don't know, he just kind of put it on real thick. Like, he wanted me over there with him and wanted me to be comfortable. So again, I'm a show and tell kind of girl. Like, I appreciate the effort, I appreciate the consistency, but at the end of the day, it's like, I ain't spent no time with you. Like, I ain't really got no face-to-face, in-person interaction with you like that. But again, I'm appreciating the consistency. Like, I'm appreciating the effort. Cool. So one of these days before Miami, he was like, what you would do if I proposed to you? Like, what would you say if I proposed to you? And I was like, again, I'm in my group messages like, what is this, honey? Like, all my homegirls is like, what? Like, it was like a big thing. And I was like, I didn't react the same way I reacted with the L word. I was just like, more time is needed. More in-person interaction is needed before that even becomes a thought. That's how I said it was real nice. I handled him with a lot of grace. But, I mean, that's true, too. Like, we've only been in each other's presence one time. So, no, like, but even to hear that he was thinking on that, like, after 4 months, it's like, okay, some dudes may know, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, what is all this? So, anyway, fast forward, he has a training camp in Miami. I was going to drive because I live about 4 hours from Miami. But at the last minute, I'm like, I'm not finna drive A flight from Tampa to Miami is literally like 30 to 45 minutes. It's very short and it's very cheap. It was like $65, like super cheap. So at the last minute, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna fly and meet you down there. I ain't finna do all that. So he like, okay, bet. But he begged me to come. I never asked this man nothing about none of his training camps. Like, he would mention them and he'll always be like, yeah, you should come. But I don't know, I just never really put no stock into it. So with the one in Miami, I know people kind of down in South Florida. So I'm like, well, okay, if shit go bad, I know a couple people down there, so it's no pressure, and it's still in Florida. I could get home quicker versus if I'm way out in Cali with this nigga and he try me. Cool. So get down to Miami. He handling the Airbnb. This is like strike one. He handled the Airbnb, so I'm like, is everything good? Because my flight landed early and his flight landed early. His landed at maybe like 9 and mine landed at like 9:30 or something like that. He was coming from New York because he had a camp up in New York and his family stay up there. Well, some of his family, like his grandma and stuff. So our flights landed super early in the morning, so we got all day. And I'm like, hey, did you speak with the Airbnb owner? Like, letting her know that we checking in early. Like, was she cool with that? Yeah, she cool with it. Everything cool. So I'm like, okay, bet. I see you in Miami. Land in Miami. Get to his terminal where he at. He on the phone, all his stuff. I'm like, okay, let's ride. Let's get in the Airbnb. You know, I want to take a shower. I want to change clothes. I want to get in the streets because we had so many plans. Like, he was so excited for me to come. That's why I don't even understand how he turned out being such a nigga. Like, it blows me still to this day. But anyway, get to the terminal, and I'm like, okay, let's go. We can't check into the Airbnb till 3. Bitch, it's 9:30 in the morning. And I'm like, so in the back of my mind, I'm like, didn't you just tell me you already talked to the lady and got this squared away? And he like, nah, I text her on the plane. So I'm already irritated because we was there for like a week. We was there Monday through Thursday. We both left out early Thursday morning because he had to go fly somewhere for another tryout or whatever, girl. I don't know. So I'm irritated because I got this big ass bag. He has a big ass suitcase. I'm like, okay, this is irritating me. Like, but I'm like, okay, it's not the end of the world. So he texting the Airbnb owner like, can we please come early or whatever? She like, no, check-in is 3. It has to be clean. So I'm kind of aggravated because I want to take a shower. Like, I feel icky. Like, even though my flight was short, first thing when I get off a plane, I want to take a bath. It's just, I've always been that way, even before COVID. Like, I want to wash my ass first quarter off the plane. So I'm telling the lady, I'm like, look, I clean the house. No pressure. It's a 1-bedroom. It was like a 1-bedroom, like, villa. I'm like, lady, I clean it. Like, so she finally like, okay, y'all can come at 12. I'm like, okay, whatever. At this point, it's like about 9:45-ish. So I'm like, let's just go get food. We found a little restaurant. Go, had breakfast, whatever. So, okay, this is kind of red flag number 1. We finished breakfast. The bill came, I think it was like $28 or some shit like that. And he was like, oh, my debit card is in the bottom of my suitcase. Can you handle it? I'm like, yeah, I'm not petty. Like, $28 is nothing. Cool. I go ahead and pay for it. We out. So at this point, it's about maybe like 10:30. We still had like another hour and a half to kill. So I'm like, we really can't go this far. We got all this shit with us. You got your suitcase. I got my stuff. So we go across the street from that restaurant into a bar that had just opened. So I'm like, okay, let's just go there. We could sit at the bar. He don't drink or smoke. So I'm like, okay, well, we'll just sit at the bar and just catch a vibe until it's time to check in. So the bar people was real cool. They like, yeah, y'all can leave y'all luggage like at the front under this little table, and the people who work in the front, like the hostess, they'll keep an eye on it for you, and y'all could just sit at the bar. So we like, okay, cool, thank you. So we at the bar. I'm sorry, but I have nothing to do. Like, so I'm starting to drink. He don't drink, but I'm not getting messed up because I'm like, I don't want him to have to take care of me, whatever. So I started getting drinks. And I did start getting kind of buzzed. I'm not even gonna hold y'all, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't like, oh, this nigga gotta come take care of me now. But I didn't have nothing to do but order desserts and drink, period. So that's what I did. So it's now time. I think she texted a little bit early. I think she texted at like 11:45, 11:50. Was like, y'all can come on. So we called an Uber, head that way to the Airbnb. So Airbnb was really nice. Like I said, it was a villa. It was like a small complex of villas, but they was all updated. You could tell they was owned by the same lady. They was really, really nice. So we get there. I'm a little tipsy. By the time we get to the Airbnb, I'm not gonna lie, I threw back like 3 drinks at the bar. I'm tipsy boots, okay? And it's early in the day and I'm tipsy. But I'm thinking that's just kind of like the move for the day because he had his training camp on Wednesday and we came back home on Thursday. So I'm like, I thought, and it was my understanding that when we, like Monday and Tuesday was our day. Wednesday he was going to be at his training camp most of the day. And then Thursday we come home. So I'm like, okay, like this is kind of like what I'm going to be doing all day anyway. Get to the villa. I'm a little tipsy boot, take a shower, whatever. I'm like, I'm finna go to the store and get some stuff for the Airbnb. You know, Airbnb ain't got nothing in it. We're gonna be here a couple days. Let me go get at least some drinks and snacks. He told me a couple things he want, no problem. I run to CVS right around the corner. Come back. I come back, I got a handful of shit, y'all. Drinks, snacks, everything. Handful of stuff, struggling, trying to get out the damn Uber. Still tipsy as hell. He's on the phone outside of the villa. He on FaceTime or whatever. He talking to some nigga. I'm struggling, y'all, to get out the Uber with all this shit in my hand. And he just watching me. Like, he not even trying to help me. He's not nothing. So, I just kind of walk past him like, bitch, like, you not going to help? Okay. So, I'm going back to the villa, but it dawned on me, like, when we first got there, I was a little tipsy. I didn't even realize the number of our villa. And I didn't know the door code. They all have a door code. It wasn't a key. So I'm like, damn. So now I got to drag all this stuff back to the front of the villa. And he's still on the phone. And now I have an attitude because I'm like, bro, you seen me with all this shit in my hand. Like, come help me. And so I'm like, overseas, can you help me? And he dead ass looked back at me and was like, help you with what? Girl, I understand he not from Florida. He a up north nigga. But the Florida in me want to put a cuss out on his ass so for water can take off. Because help you with what? I got a handful of shit. So I guess whoever he was on FaceTime with, he was like, bro, let me call you right back. Like, he was just so irritated. So I went, we walked back around. He showed me what villa it was. He showed me what number it was. He put a code in. I have an attitude at this point. So I put the stuff down and I go in the bedroom, get on my laptop and start working. Because I'm like, you done pissed me off. Let me just go get some work done. And then maybe I'll cool off. So later that night, I finish up my little work. I'm not really talking to him. I done kind of locked myself in the bedroom and child, I don't got nothing to say. Period. It's so much that happened, but I'm trying to keep this video short. So evening comes. Well, not really evening, but kind of like afternoon. I finished up my work day because I really just had articles to write. Y'all know I blog and stuff. So it really could have got done anytime that day. But being that he just irritated me so damn bad, I was just like, I'm finna go get some work done. And he was still on the phone. So I was like, whatever. We'll do something later. So later comes and I'm like, what you want to do? Do you want to go out to eat? Like, what's up? Nah, I don't really feel like doing nothing. Okay. Alright. So, what do you want to do? Like, what we just supposed to be in this crib for the rest of the night or whatever? Because it was still early as hell. And he was like, yeah, I don't really want to do da-da-da-da. So, I'm like, okay. Whatever. I'm irritated. So I'm like, well, do you want some food? He was like, yeah, let's just order something. Like, my back hurt, yada yada. All right, so I get on one of them DoorDash, Grubhub, one of them shits, and I'm looking for some food. And the food, I'm about to order the food, and he like, how much I owe you for my food? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Just cash out me some money and I'll order some food. It was just dumb. So anyway, I ended up ordering the food and he cashed out me the money for his food. And I was like, like, because I guess I guess I'm expecting you to pay for it. Like, I don't know. I was a little irritated. I'm like, you know what, P, get this food, eat this food, take your ass to sleep. Tomorrow will be a new day. Start fresh. Because we are not already started wrong. We started wrong when we couldn't check in the damn Airbnb on time after I asked you, did you already get that squared away? So we had already was, but I'm like, okay, food come, eat the food, go to bed. That's Monday. Monday was a complete bust. So Tuesday come, we had all these plans. We gonna be on the beach all day. That was the plan. We was going parasailing. We finna drink, eat everything on the beach. Like, we finna have a ball, period. We finna have so much fun. We finna spend the whole day at the beach. So get to the beach early. I'm talking about like 11 o'clock, y'all. Get to the beach early. I got my little beach bag. I'm one of them people, I'm one of them Floridians specifically. I don't go to the beach often, but when I go, it's a whole full day. Like, I don't never just go to the beach for like an hour or two. Like, when I do go to the beach, since I don't really go that much, I make a whole day out of it. I'm there all day. I got my beach bag, my beach chairs, my music, my liquor, everything. Like, I probably been have found me a restaurant on the beach I want to eat at when it's all said and done. Like, so that was like the plan. All along, girl, that was the plan. Get there, 11 o'clock. He like, where you want to eat at? He was like, oh my God, it's so pretty. I need to come to Florida more often, especially South Florida. Like, this is where I want to live at, da-da-da-da. So he just taking it all in. I'm like, yeah, you know, it's nice. I love Florida. We got beaches where I stay at too. Like, Florida is full of beaches. So, you know, we're not super impressed by the beach like that, but I could tell he was liking it. So I'm like, okay, this is going to be a good ass day. Like, I ain't worried about what happened yesterday. It's going to be a good day. So, bitch, he like, baby, where you want to eat at? Da, 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 da. I'm like, okay, we could stop at this little restaurant, you know, because I wanted to eat, but I really wanted to parasail and, like, be on the beach. So, overseas, it's like, all right, let's go in this restaurant, bet. So, we get in the restaurant. The waiter sit us. Please hold on to your wheels, bitch. It's finna get rocky. The waiter sits us, and this man dead ass with a straight face, dog, look at me and was like, so, babe, what you finna do? Oh my God, y'all. I'm so like, thinking back on it, it's so funny because like my heart kind of stopped when he asked me. Like, I'm like, we finna eat. Like, what did you talk about? I'm like, we finna eat. And he was like, no, well, like, I Googled and I realized that it's a basketball court like up the sidewalk. So what I was finna do is go back to the Airbnb and get my basketball stuff. And then I was gonna come back and go to the court and get some practice in for my tryouts tomorrow. Bitch, what? Like, I was, y'all, I was so taken aback by all of this because you finna leave me at the restaurant by myself. You finna dead ass leave me at the restaurant. Fuck leaving me. You finna stick me with the bill. But see, I have a good mama, and God bless the day, I had a really good grandmama. And they taught me from a little bitty baby girl, you don't never take your KO ass nowhere without no money. So, of course, I had money because I was going out of town. And I was going out of town for a couple days. So, I'ma always have money. But it was just the principle, y'all. I ain't never been left like out of like in a restaurant by no dude. So I was like, this is not giving. Like, I couldn't even believe what he was saying to me. And he was dead ass serious. So he gets up and leave. Well, he sat there, called the Uber, ordered the Uber. He was like, all right, Pooh, I'm gonna see you later. Leave, y'all. Like, haul ass, went back to the Airbnb, got his basketball shit, came back and went to the basketball court. And I'm sitting there like a damn idiot, like in a restaurant, texting my homegirls. It was one of those situations I had to call my mama. Like, you know how you be so pissed off, you got to call your mama? I couldn't talk to nobody else but my mama. I called my mama and I'm telling her, my mama couldn't even believe it. I'm texting my homegirls in the group. Like, none of my homegirls is believing that this nigga left me in a restaurant to go play basketball or whatever. Now, granted, yes, Wednesday he had his little camp and his little training shit, whatever the case may be. But my thing is, bro, you knew that the only day that we really had together was Monday and Tuesday. And you already effed up Monday being a dumbass. So we had all these plans for Tuesday. We on the beach. We going parasailing, this, and the third. You just completely annihilated the trip. So that set the tone for the rest of the trip for me. I'm sitting there at this cute-ass restaurant overlooking the beach. When I left, I actually went to the beach. But I'm like, I can't believe I'm eating, drinking, everything by myself. So I started doing the math now. Because I'm like, hold up now. This nigga ain't did shit since he been here. So I started calculating how much money I done spent, which it wasn't a lot at that point. It was like, let's just say $30 at the first restaurant, about $15 on my food from the night before that I had to buy, which is weird, and like another $10 at CVS. So what it is, 30, 15, 45, 10, 55. Okay, so I done spent about $55, not including this meal that I'm finna pay for right now. So add that on there. Let's say I spent another $30. So we at $85. So okay, I still ain't spent a whole lot, but bitch, at this point I could have just came to Miami by myself, because what am I even with you for? You not keeping me company, you irritating the fuck out of me, and you cheaper than a bitch. But you keep bragging to me about you playing ball overseas. I don't want to hear it. So I'm irritated, y'all. Like, I am on one. My text message fingers is not moving fast enough in my damn group messages. So I'm sitting here, I'm just having drinks because I just can't even believe what has taken place. So I'm like, you know what? You still on the beach. Whatever. So I'm a little tipsy again. I feel like this all I did was drink and eat. Period. So I'm a little tipsy again. I walk over to the beach and I'm like, okay, it's probably best I don't even go parasailing by myself. I don't go jet skiing. None of that shit that we was like, oh yeah, we're going to do this on the beach. Like, let me not do none of that because I'm tipsy. I'm obviously out here by myself. So I just need the vibe. So I just lay out on the beach, catch my tan. And I'm just laying there. I'm blasting my music. And, you know, it was cool. Like, I didn't really even get in the water. Like, I kind of lay on the shoreline because, again, I'm tipsy. So everybody think they good when they tipsy until their ass is in 13 feet of water. They drowning, they dead. So I'm like, let me just not even F around with this water too slick. And I'm out here by myself. So I was just in a mood, y'all. I was so irritated because I'm like, this nigga really has tried me from start to finish of this whole damn trip. And I didn't even have to be here, nigga. You begged me to come here. So the remainder of the trip, I'm like, okay, P. You just gonna have to treat it like you down here by yourself. Period. So I was getting ready to leave. I probably laid out on the beach like 30 minutes. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just go back to the crib. Because, like, let me just go. I was so annoyed at this point. Like, I'm so pissed off. So I'm texting him. I'm like, can you, give me the door code? Because I'm about to head back to the Airbnb. And he was like, no, like, I'm done. I'm finna come back. He come back. He got on his basketball shit. He got his basketball and whatever. And I'm just like, bitch, I don't even want to talk to you right now. Like, I don't even want to look at your ass. I don't want to talk to you. Nothing. So we go back to the Airbnb. I don't even know what strike we on at this point. But I'm in the room. I don't have nothing to say to this boy. Like, at this point, Wednesday cannot come fast enough because he was going to be at the house all day doing his training shit. So I was just looking forward to Wednesday because I'm like, I'm finna take myself out to eat. I'm finna take myself shopping. I'm finna fucking do whatever. I'm finna act like I'm out here by myself. Shit, because at this point I paid for all my own shit. The only thing you done paid for was the Airbnb. Cool, but I was just over it at that point. So I'm in the room. I'm not talking to him. He come peek his head in the door. Once we get back to the Airbnb or whatever, I kind of barricaded myself in the room. So he come in the door just on some real random. You know how when somebody just want to say something to you to see, like, oh, let me just kind of check the temperature with her. So he peeking his door and was like, Pooh, you eat sushi? You know I eat sushi. That's all I eat. You be on FaceTime with me 24/7. That's all I'm ordering is sushi. That's really all I eat 3-4 times a damn week is sushi. So you know this. He was like, oh, all right. He shut the door. I'm like, whatever. So about 30 minutes later, I hear a knock at the door. He done ordered DoorDash, right? He ordered all this hibachi, like steak and shrimp hibachi, rice, and all this shit. He didn't order me nothing. He didn't even ask if I wanted nothing, y'all. This man didn't ask me, do you want something to eat? Like, I'm finna order me some food. Nothing. When I say nothing, and I went out the door, I opened the door to the bedroom, and I was like, oh, you order food? Like, you ain't say nothing? And he was like, oh, yeah, like, that's why I asked you, did you want sushi? But when I ordered, I wasn't sure what type of sushi you like. Bruh. I was so fucking mad. Like, I was so... Y'all, I done been out of town with niggas. Never anything like this. Like, even the niggas that I done been out of town with, even if we don't talk or whatever the case may be, like, them niggas show love. They pay for everything. I don't have to worry about nothing. I don't know what his deal was. I guess I just got to chalk it up to he was a little bit younger than me. But at the end of the day, even if you was a little bit younger than me, you still just know how to treat a lady, period. Like, this is common courtesy. You begged me to come here. You begged me to come here. I didn't ask to come to Miami. I can go to Miami anytime. You begged me to come, and then you doing all this. You treat me like this. Like, I was ready to go at that point. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm just looking forward to Wednesday because I'm like, he going to be out all day, so I'm out. And he asked me, he was like, Pooh, you know, I get like a break in between tryouts. Do you think I should come back home? And I was like, no, I don't think you should come back home. I was like, I think you need to stay there the whole day and watch the other niggas try out. Like, you need to stay there. He was like, you right. So he left probably like 10:30 that morning. And I don't think he came back till like 7 that afternoon, like 6, 7. I was so damn happy. I was like determined. I am not finna be here. I'm not texting this man back. I'm out in these Miami streets. So that's what I did. And I took myself out to eat. I went to the mall. I went shopping. I just did some of everything. Like, I went to brunch. Soon after he left, I got dressed. I got cute as hell and went to brunch. Got drunk again, girl. Like, I got drunk again. But when I say I ordered, like, everything off the menu, I'm like, fucking, I'm just finna eat good. So, y'all, I got mimosa drunk again at the brunch. Went back to the crib, changed clothes, got back in the streets, went to the mall, went shopping. Went out to eat again, drunk some more. Like, girl, I was just out. And so I just made it my point to stay out all damn day. So finally, I get back to the Airbnb like later that night. And he came back shortly after me. So, you know, he come in and I just don't really have much to say. Like, you know, I don't really got much to say. I've been vibed out on my own all day, and I actually loved it. I could have went to Miami by myself. The same way I went to New York by myself, I could have went to Miami by myself. So he's like, oh, so you're not going to ask me how my tryout went?
Oh, my God.
I went the fuck off. Like, at that point, it was like gloves off. I'm walking around here trying to be, you know, not passive aggressive, but just trying not to even go there with you because I have to be here with you for a couple more days. But at that point, I just started letting this nigga have it. Like, nigga, you left me on a beach like yesterday in a restaurant by myself because you talking about you had to go play basketball. Like, I understand this tryout mean a lot to you, but my nigga, you shouldn't even invited me down here. Period. If it was all that, if you was finna leave me at a whole damn restaurant to go and practice your basketball shit like overseas, cut it. Like, you could have left me where I was at. I ain't have to come down here for you to do what you was doing. So I just started letting him having it. I'm trying to, you know, be a little more censored because we is on YouTube or whatever, but it's something about that Florida, like, Florida women will cuss you out in a different type of way. And I don't think up north niggas or dudes who mess with, like, maybe predominantly like foreign women or whatever the case may be, maybe they just not really used to that. So I think he was super taken aback by that. But it's just like that Florida twang, my accent when I'm mad, it just come out times 10. And I was just really going in that Airbnb, like, because I wasn't even trying to go there with you, but you coming back in here asking, telling me, oh, you ain't gonna ask me how my tryout went? Like, you don't care how my day went? Like, no, bitch, I don't care how nothing going. You don't care how this whole trip has went for me. So I'm letting him have it or whatever. So it ended with him, like, fake apologizing. He was like, oh, you know, you right. I probably shouldn't have left you. Like, yeah, that one. Girl. So he's all like, let me make it up to you. I was already dressed. I was getting ready to go back out, go to South Beach. I was finna go to, like, some type of little club or something. I was finna find me something because I'm determined. I'm not standing here another damn day being bored with your aggravating ass. So he was like, well, can I just come with you? And, you know, we could spend this last, like, you know, the evening together since we both gotta leave. Like, and he was like, can you change your flight to come with me to the next city? Boy, you know damn well I'm not coming with your goofy ass nowhere else. Like, you can't come nowhere else with me. You can't even look at me. So we get done going back and forth, and he was like, can I come with you? Da, da, da. I was like, whatever. Like, I'm finna get in this Airbnb. I mean, not Airbnb. The Uber. I'm finna get in my Uber. Whatever. I'm finna go back to South Beach. I'm finna hang. So he gets in with me, and he come to South Beach with me. And so we get out, and we just walk in, and he just trying to talk to me like everything cool. I end up cussing his ass out again, because it's like, boy, stop, bruh. Like, you done tried me from the moment we touched down in Miami. Like, I don't got nothing to say. I don't got nothing else to say to your ass. And so he apologized and cop and please. So it was like some little bar thing, and they had like 2-for-1 margaritas. So I'm like, I'm finna order 4. So I ordered all them damn margaritas, and I was throwing them back. And they was big frozen margaritas, y'all. They was so damn good. They was so sweet. I'm throwing them back. I got pissy. Like, pissy drunk. But I don't care no more. Like, I don't give a damn about trying to make a good impression. At this point, you and me, you just kind of coming along for the ride. So I'm like, girl, whatever. Me being drunk ain't got nothing to do with you, child. I'm vibing. So, long story short, he seemed kind of irritated with me because I was drunk. Again, he don't drink, he don't smoke. We go back to the Airbnb. I take like a 2-hour shower, get out. I cut me on a movie. I just started treating the nigga like he wasn't even there. I got my little stuff ready. And yeah, following morning we fly back home. Early morning too. I was so happy. We both had dumb early flights, so we left the Airbnb at like 7 in the morning. So I was super happy that I did not have to be around this nigga no more. So we ride in the Uber together to the airport. He go to his plane, I go to my terminal. I ain't never seen that boy again. We never spoke again. We never spoke again. When I left Miami, we never spoke again, ever. He didn't text me to ask me if I made it home. I didn't see if he made it home. He texted my phone one day, like maybe the day after I got back, so maybe Friday. he sent me like his basketball highlights. I ain't respond. I don't have nothing to say to that man to this day. Never spoke again, never FaceTimed him again. All that he was talking went out the window, girl. We good. Like, I see him occasionally, watch my stories on Instagram and stuff like that, but it's over. I don't even follow him. Like, I didn't block him because I don't know, it's just, it wasn't block worthy. Like, it's some other niggas that have done way worse than just be a lame ass duck ass nigga like you was. It is what it is. But I unfollowed him. Maybe he still follow me, I don't know. I just noticed that he was watching my shit one day. So, girl, that is it. I hope this video not too long, girl. I'm gonna attempt to edit it and hopefully it makes its way on YouTube. But I just kind of wanted to give y'all that little quick little situation with me and overseas, because I don't think I really went into detail about it on the podcast before. But, girl, we here now. So this will be episode 100 and something, whatever it is. So I'm about to go drink me a Red Bull and try to get into my editing bag. Me and this camera thing, I'm still trying to get used to it. But nevertheless, thank y'all for tuning in. I'm going to definitely put this on like Spotify, iHeart, SoundCloud. So even if we don't like how the visual look, I'm going to still make sure that I put it on the streaming platform, so at least we could get the audio, girl. So finally y'all got the full story of me and a nigga in Miami. I have another story with a nigga in Miami, and I'm pretty sure I told y'all about that when I was a whole separate nigga. But me and that nigga was actually like kicking it for about like 8-9 months. Yeah, we was kicking it for like 8-9 months. It's so crazy because me and him, we not friends, but we're cool-ish, and he always be like, I want to come on your podcast, and I'm like, why? So me and my listeners can drag your rusty ass. Like, that's the dude I told y'all. I don't even know what episode, but anyway, I walked in his Airbnb and it was a condom wrapper on the bed, and he was my nigga at the time, girl, and it was World War III. But we'll say that for a different video, and I have to figure out if I already told y'all that full story time or not. But anyway, girl, if we get there, we get there. We don't. But thank you for tuning in to the Cake Dish Podcast. As always, you can follow us at the Cake Dish Official on Instagram. You can catch us on pretty much every streaming platform with the exception of Tidal, girl. And I'm going to see you girls next week. Make sure y'all got y'all headphones. Please make sure you're not listening to this out loud down at the people job on Monday morning, because it's giving I ain't got no money to send you hoes if you get fired.